All right, here I am speaking with Joe Dwyer. Joe Dwyer, the current president of the NABF.
Correct.
Is that correct? Yeah. Just recently, you've been nominated to that post, huh?
June of 2009. Right.
June 2009. Good stuff. You're an old fighter back in the day. You fought amateur. Had a few amateur fights.
Yeah, I had 59 fights.
59 fights. What was your record?
56 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest.
Yeah, that's a pretty good record, man.
Not too bad.
What weight did you fight?
Welter and middle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Many cheeseburgers ago.
Quite a few.
Yeah, no question.
Quite a few.
Well, it's good stuff, man. You've worked up from amateur boxer all the way up to president of NABF. I mean, through the years. And
well, in the interim, I was in the police department for 34 years. But while I was in the police department, I was with the New York State Athletic Commission for 12 years as chief inspector, and then I was appointed to the IBF as championship chairman for 3 years, and then I left in 2003 and I returned to judging, and I remained a judge until 2000 when I got elected as vice president of the NABF, and then I succeeded as president in 2005.
Right. You were chief inspector, you said, for New York State Athletic Commission?
That's correct.
From
1980. Did I like it?
How'd you like that? That's a lot of pressure on you, man. That's a
it's
job, isn't it?
It's good because having had the experience and having fought, then you can empathize with what the fighters are going through. And like anything else, I'd like to see more people with experience as fighters or trainers or whatever come into the things like with state athletic commissions. That's one of the fallacies today.
Who's the chief inspector now in White State?
I don't know his name. A Spanish fellow. He's been there for quite a few years. Very competent guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, he's doing a good job.
Very good.
What's your primary responsibility as chief inspector of New York State Athletic Commission?
Well, you do the assignment of the inspectors for the night, for the show that you're working. And you do training seminars for the inspectors as to what they're going to be watching for and relative to the dressing rooms, taping of the hands, the gloving. And then at ringside, you have 2 inspectors there, 1 in each corner, checking what coagulants they're using in the corners.
Checking everything.
Right.
You're a big advocate of women's boxing, I hear, right?
Yeah, I'm a strong supporter of women's boxing.
Didn't they just get picked up in the Olympics?
Yes, they did.
They did, right? And
this is a milestone for them.
Just a few weight classes for, but that is a huge milestone.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I guess you foresee, pay-per-view fights and big things in the pro ranks, but in the amateur ranks, that's as far as we can go in the Olympics.
Well,
so
you're going to have a much greater interest in the sport for women now. When they have that desire that they could go on to the Olympics. That's been missing all these years.
Exactly, yeah.
So now when you see fights and you see title fights for women, they have relatively few fights, but there weren't that many women competing. So you'll see a girl with a 4-1 record fighting for a title.
Yeah, a title, yeah.
That's not out of place.
Yeah.
Because they just haven't had that experience to get up to that. Now you will.
Are they tied into the NABF?
Yes, we have a NABF women's division, and Jill Diamond is the head of the women's division.
Jill's head of the women's division of the NABF.
That's correct.
Yeah, she's from New York here.
She's the chair.
And how long have the women's been involved in NABF?
Well, for the past 5 years, when we took, we being Rex Walker, who was the previous president, and myself were elected in 2005, and then we got involved with women. Up until that time, they hadn't been. And, of course, the World Boxing Council, which we're a branch of, they now have an active women's division and world champions.
All right. So what would you say is the biggest thing you'd like to accomplish as the president of NABF?
Well,
that's not in place now.
It's not something that could be accomplished at my level, but for the good of the sport of boxing, what must be done is that we get unified medicals throughout the United States. Right now, it's like a
that's a big.
It's like a kettle of soup. Really.
Gumbo.
Yeah, I love gumbo.
Oh yeah.
Every state, for the most part, is different.
Yeah.
New York, Nevada, New Jersey, very extensive physicals. Fighters are protected, as they should be. But, you can go to some of these states and they just barely put a stethoscope on you.
Yeah, barely, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So, in order to do that, your first step would be?
Well, I support any move in that direction. It's something that the Association of Boxing Commissions, that's really their task to try and get legislation in that direction.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Joe, all the things you've accomplished so far, you've gone a long way in your career in the sport of boxing. You've helped it out, and you've made an imprint so far. So,
it's really a labor of love, Rick.
Yeah.
You can empathize what the fighter is going through. You know what it's like. You know what he feels like sitting on that stool after he's been cut and he's swallowing blood for 7-8 rounds. The stomach's starting to churn. You have to empathize with him.
You definitely.
And our job is to protect him.
Yeah.
For too many years, a lot of these fighters, they finished their career and they were treated like a piece of meat. They're just cast aside. There's no provisions, no pension. That's something else that has to be provided.
Are you in favor? Cooney's tied in with an organization called FIST. Jerry Cooney.
I don't believe it's in operation any longer.
Really?
No, I believe that one out.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
But with that premise in mind, though, I mean, where you're taking care of some of the old retired fighters and things of that nature.
Well, see, we do that in. I had mentioned before to you, Ring 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We meet on a monthly basis, and it's composed of ex-fighters and also supporters of the. At one time, it was just ex-fighters, but now it's opened up to those that are supporters of boxing, and all. And we take care of medical needs of people that are down on their luck after they retired. Certain medications that are needed that we provide through Ring 8, as does. My direct boss, Jose Suleiman, with the WBC, we have a number of people that we provide for on a monthly basis, not only income that comes from the WBC, but also medical needs, eyeglasses, teeth, different things that psychological testing for people.
Joe, hey, you've done so much, and looks like you're still striving, doing positive things in the sport, and on behalf of all the boxing community, we thank you, and we hope that wish you many more years to come of progressive work here. Good stuff.
Well, thank you very much, Rick, and it's really my pleasure.
Hey, God bless you, man. We'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
Okay.